What is up, guys? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Back with another video. So yeah, read the title of the video. I rode a $2,500 bike for 120 days, which is about 4 months. I got the bike in November. Bought it for $2,500. 2017 Ninja 300. It's been freaking amazing. I've had so much fun on it. Learned so much. Made a lot of mistakes. Went down once. Dropped the bike once. But luckily I have crash bars on it that I mean they came with the bike, luckily, so it wasn't too much damage. Definitely could have been a lot worse. And yeah, but getting into it, so learned a lot. I would say it's my first bike, first time riding. I literally got my license like a month ago as well. So yeah, by no means like a professional rider. Definitely gotten a lot better, but I'm not a professional. But I just wanted to make this video, kind of share what I've learned, like other tips that can help you guys if you're a new rider or like getting into riding, and kind of like explain some of the stuff that like kind of confused me when I was riding, or like that I misinterpreted, like a bunch of the big words like rev matching, engine braking, friction zone, like upshifting, downshifting, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so the first thing I want to talk about is no matter what bike you get, I would obviously recommend something lower, like a 300 or 400, or like a 250 or like a dirt bike. But if you're going to be that guy who gets an R6 or like a 600, 500, something crazier than a 300, all I'll say is respect the bike and it'll respect you. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything crazy. Like respect the bike. Do what you would do on a 300. And I'm not saying don't speed. Like find a place that's good. Find a place that's safe. Find a place that's empty. Like minimize the risk as much as you can. Minimize the risk and try to get a high reward. So it's like this scenario right here where I'm riding. I mean, you could lane split theoretically, but it's not smart here. The reward is pretty low because considering it's a one lane up ahead, like I know that. So it's not really like anything that you want to like risk splitting here through for no reason. Find like a good patch of highway, like early morning or late at night. Be careful with late at night, but yeah, or like find a good road that's like really empty or really smart to ride on, and you can go fast there. But with the majority of stuff, you don't want to get too crazy, especially at intersections. That's like the biggest cause of motorcycle accidents, at intersections, because there's so much going on. There's so many variables, and people just blow through them. Even the bikers, and the cars, they don't see you. I'm not saying it's not their fault, but they don't see you. And who's going to take more of the damage? The person on the bike. So if you're the person on the bike, you're going to want to pipe it down and go slower, proceed with caution. And even if it's a green light, like if it's red, you're waiting and it turns green, check both sides, because you never know who's going to run the red light. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's wrong, because if you're on the bike, you're the one that's going to be fucked. I'm not talking about like financially or whatever. I'm talking about you're going to get fucked. Turn into a meat crayon. That's like the best way to put it. Like there's no way of like making it sound soft, because it's not going to be soft. But yeah, the first tip, stop worrying about speed. With time, you'll get there. Ride to your comfort. Don't get pressured by others. Push yourself to learn, but don't reach for the sky too quickly. And you'll meet riders. As much as like you don't want to like try to ride with them, it just instinctively will happen. Like you'll see a rider up ahead, you're like, I can follow him, I want to be close. But just don't. You have to ride your own ride. Push yourself, but don't reach for the sky, because if you don't push yourself, you won't learn. But if you reach for the sky too quick, you're gonna fucking crash. Yeah. And the second thing is, if you're finding a place to practice, scout the area first. Make sure there's no nails, there's no road debris. And recently I've been practicing. I found a road that's like somewhat close to me, so I literally spent 2 hours like brooming the entire road. I looked like a fucking moron, but it was worth it, because I got all the rocks out. There was like a bunch of like spare stuff where I needed to brake really hard, because I was like trying to practice getting up to like fourth or fifth gear, like 70 or like 60 to 80 miles per hour, and I was trying to slow down, rev match, practice working on that, get back down to 0 or like 10 to 15 and then make a U-turn and then just keep looping around. So I cleaned the entire area. It took a while in the fucking sun, but it was definitely worth it. I got like a couple nails and like a bunch of big rocks off the road, and I know it sounds stupid, but they might play like a bigger role than you might think. And you're like, oh, it's just a stupid rock, it's not gonna do anything, but it can do a lot, especially when you're going like 70 to 80 miles an hour. And yeah, the second thing, wear full gear. I've been lacking on this lately because I was wearing full leather every time, because I started riding like the spring / winter, and it was like perfectly fine because the weather wasn't fucking hot as a bitch. And I know a lot of people say I'd rather sweat than be a meat crayon, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, I need to start wearing gear more. I'm not gonna lie and say I'm wearing it every time, but I mean, at the bare minimum, I'm wearing gloves, boots, and helmet every single time. But I've been slacking on like the chest, the jacket, and like the pants. But yeah, I need to get armored pants. I don't have those yet. I'm just wearing normal jeans, so I need to get armored pants. But I have a mesh hoodie that I could wear more, but it still gets hot. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like I'm a perfect person who wears gear every time, but damn, it's hard to wear gear. But if you know you're gonna do this stuff crazy, even if you're not, like, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. So I would say try to wear at least a helmet, bare minimum. Definitely boots and gloves, and try to get like some discreet clothing if you don't want to wear leather, because it's better than nothing. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff you can't account for, like gravel or oil on the road or something that you just won't see in time. Or if you brake too hard on like a patch of gravel or like something that cars don't drive on, there'll be like piles of rocks and shit. And that's what happened to me, because I went down, or I braked too hard. It was like 50 miles an hour. I braked too hard on like a 10-foot patch of gravel, and I crashed. I actually made a video on that, but it was crazy. It wasn't that bad. Could have been a lot worse. My crash bars took most of the damage, and I was wearing full gear then, so luckily I didn't, like, all I had was a scratch. But yeah, next tip I would say is get crash bars. And if you don't want to get crash bars, which I get, like, mine came with it, so I didn't really have a choice. But I mean, I'm glad they're there. But yeah, if you don't want to get crash bars, get something more discreet, like frame sliders or like spools on the back of your bike, or both actually. Next thing, keep up on maintenance. It's more important than you think, and especially for me, because I had 22,000 miles on my bike. I wanted to really get like everything that I could do myself changed. Luckily the tires were really good, because that would have been expensive, and I don't think I can do tires myself. So luckily the only things I was really doing myself was I changed the coolant. I didn't flush it, which I probably should have, but I got most of it out, I think. So hopefully, I mean, it's been fine, but I don't know if I'm doing something bad. But yeah, changed the coolant. I changed the brake fluid. I changed the oil and the oil filter. I replaced the air filter. I checked the chain slack. I'm pretty sure it's within the 20 to 30, so I didn't like adjust anything there. But I've been cleaning and lubing the chain as well. And make sure you check tire tread, and PSI. That's like really important. That's the only thing that's connecting the bike and the ground. So make sure the PSI is always up to date, and make sure you check it when it's cold. So it's like after your bike's been like not riding for like a couple hours. Clean your visor and windscreen. You always want to maximize visibility, so make sure you clean that every time you stop riding, and every time you stop riding. And if you don't clean it when you stop riding, make sure you clean it when you are going to go for a ride, because you always want maximum visibility. Like, the helmet already dims down your visibility by a ton, so don't let your visibility get even worse if you don't clean it, especially in the summer, because there's going to be a lot of bugs. I literally got back from a ride today. I think I killed like 5 families of bugs. So yeah, get that shit off. Maximize visibility as much as you can. Biggest thing is like here, like, control everything that you can control. Try to control it, because why would you not? Yeah, so that's the maintenance side of things. Check on brakes as well. What else? Yeah, the thing I did recently was like clean the front sprocket. There was a bunch of like grease and like gunk under there, so I took like the cover off and like I cleaned as much as I could under it. That was another tip. Yeah, adjust your mirrors as well. Mine didn't come adjusted, and I was only able to see out of them when I was tucked, so I changed that, because not smart. Because I want to be able to see behind me when I'm not tucked. So yeah, change the mirrors. Trying to think of what else. Yeah, the quad lock, like I'm using right now for directions. comes in clutch. Don't stare at it, obviously, but like you can glance at it once in a while. Um, yeah, unfortunately, my bike doesn't have a gear shifter, which makes things a little bit harder. But I feel like it also helps a lot because it kind of helps you like do everything, like rely less on tech. I don't have ABS either, by the way, so like you rely less on tech and really get like a more feel for the bike. I think it's a lot cooler than like riding a or driving an automatic car, because like it's or like you have so much control of like more stuff in terms of like shifting, clutch. You have the engine control, and like it's so much more stuff you have control of, and it comes in like it bites you. It's a pain in the ass sometimes, but it's also like really cool. Like I don't think I could like daily this every day. Um, I mean, I might be able to, but it's like I don't know. A bike is like riding a bike is just so much more exhausting and like so much more effort, so much more attention than riding like a automatic car. I haven't ridden a manual car, but I could assume it's similar to a bike in terms of like attention required. But I honestly think a bike is like one of the hardest things to ride in terms of like effort, because it takes a toll. Like it's not as much effort as like riding a bicycle, like in terms of pedaling, but like it like works you, like it's literally like a workout, like I won't lie. But yeah, the next thing I want to talk about was wear earplugs, especially if you don't get like a really high quality helmet. Even if you do, I think earplugs are worth it, because $12 for a 50 pack, that or your ears, that's what it comes down to for me at least. I'd rather get something, put them in. It definitely reduces the volume and wind noise a lot, so I'd rather get that than risk something happening. So yeah, get earplugs. The next thing is respect the bike. Respect the bike, know your limits. Practice, practice, practice. Practice slow speed stuff. I know that's the stuff no one wants to do, but that's also as important as going high speed. Also practice higher speeds, because they're both important. Learn friction zone and clutch control. They're super important. Practice doing U-turns, practice swerving. They'll teach you this in the MSF, but if you don't take it, practice this. Take the MSF, get your bike registered, get insurance. Technically, you're supposed to get inspection. I haven't gotten it yet because my tail light's integrated, so it fails. Practice throttle control, and also something I learned is try to get your like hand at the very top, so you're not like bending your wrist all the way down if you're going full throttle, because it starts to fuck with your wrist a little bit. So like try to get it all the way at the top. And engine braking means completely killing the throttle and not touching the clutch. So like I think I had a muscle memory of like holding both brakes like when riding a bicycle, so I kind of transfer that over to the riding, and like after I would downshift, I would just hold in the clutch, so I wasn't taking advantage of engine braking. I was only using the brakes, which honestly fucked me because I wasn't slowing down like as much as I thought I was, and like there's sometimes where I kind of like ran a light. So yeah, definitely work on that. Engine braking means just going off the throttle completely. And the next thing is work on like tapping your brake as well when you're engine braking. You could do the rear brake or the front brake, whichever's easier. Just make sure you don't like slam the front brake, but because when you're engine braking, the light doesn't like flash, so people can't tell you're slowing down if they're not like looking for it. So be careful with that too. And final tips are work on shifting slowly. Eventually it'll be a fast, quick, smooth motion, but work on getting it down like smooth at first. Don't work on doing it fast at first. I'm a victim of this. I did it too fast and it would kind of fuck me. So do it slow, and when you're shifting, get off the throttle, like no throttle. But I mean, obviously you'll get faster, so it's not gonna like sound as like dumb as I'm saying it right now, but like no throttle. Close the throttle completely when you're shifting. So close the throttle and upshift. Rev matching is only for downshift, like when you're blipping the throttle. I kind of confused this when I was riding first, so I'd be blipping the throttle when I was upshifting. I was like, why is this shit jerking so much? I was like literally scared for a little bit because I was like, fuck, if I'm shifting and it's gonna jerk every time, this is about to be bad. I feel like I'm about to do a wheelie. But yeah, work on that for sure. Get that down, and eventually it'll be a nice smooth upshifting. It'll be like less than like half a second, even faster probably. But yeah, depends on how much you want to get it, how much you're pushing the bike. But yeah, you could also go for like, you'd want to do it at like I think like 10,000, maybe a little less. Depends on, again, like how you're riding. Like if you're going for like just a cruise in the city, you can just shift like earlier, doesn't matter. But if you're trying to like get to a certain speed and you like really need to get there, try to do it at like 10, 11,000. You don't want to red line as much as you can. And yeah, a tip with Kawasaki's, by the way, it's harder to like get it from first to second, so make sure like you really click it up there so you're not like stuck in neutral when you're upshifting and then like rev bombing. I did that a lot, and one of my clips on Insta actually got like 350,000 views on Insta Reels. Everyone was like roasting the fuck out of me, and I was like, I'm not taking it down because people gotta know it's not like smooth sailing. I mean, obviously I could have done better, but yeah, I feel like that's a Kawasaki thing because I literally shifted up, but it didn't go. It just got stuck in neutral, and I was panicking because I was still like learning at the time. But it was dumb because I was on a highway, or I was like merging on a highway, so that's why I got roasted. But yeah, don't do that. Try to work on that. Try to like give it like a bigger kick than you would for like just like another other shift. Like if you're going from like second, third, I mean, if you're going from first to second, like really kick it. Yeah, work on downshifting with rev matching because it helps you slow down a lot. So like how I've been slowing down like recently is if I'm going like 60 miles an hour, and I know I need to stop, I'll completely get off the throttle, and if there's a car behind me, I'll try to flash the brake lights, and then I'll downshift with rev matching. So I'll pull, like it has to be really fast for rev matching. Like if it's not perfect, then it won't work as you want it to. So you have to like try to really get it down. So you pull in the clutch really fast, downshift, and then blip the throttle. I think that's the right order, but if I'm wrong, please correct me, because I'm still working and learning on this. But I definitely noticed that you want to release the clutch before you blip the throttle, otherwise it'll jerk, and it has to be really fast. But that helps you really like slow down as well. And then if you're going too fast still, pull in the brakes, pull in the front and the rear brake. That'll help you slow down. And then let go of the brakes, downshift, rev match. And you want to kind of do this like as you upshift type thing. So it's like if you're going like 70, I'm talking about for a 300, by the way. So if you're going like 70, downshift like once into, if you're like in fourth, downshift like third. And then like as you slow down, like try to match them with like the RPMs and like your speed. I know it's a lot, but I don't think it's good to like rev mat, or like you don't want to be in like first going like 50, because that'll also be bad. So like try to match it like as you would like if you're upshifting. I mean, like if you're at 25, you'll go to second, do the same thing like when you're downshifting. Yeah, allow engine braking to really like work. Use that with brakes. It'll help you slow down a lot faster than if you're just using the brakes or just using engine braking. And yeah, really like work on throttle control because it's really important, and also like your hand positioning, like where it is. Yeah, like positioning is a lot of things too as well. Like it's, I feel like something that people don't talk about, but like body positioning, feet positioning, like angles and all that stuff. It's a lot of people don't talk about it, I feel like. So yeah, like where your hand is, where your fingers are. Yeah, that's kind of been the main stuff that I really wanted to talk about. I hope this video has helped someone. I know it's a bit lengthier than I wanted it to be, but a lot of good information in this, I think, personally. But yeah, the key takeaways, I would say, work on rev matching, work on upshifting, work on engine braking, work on U-turns, work on like slow speed stuff, friction zone, throttle control, and wear gear. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't be that Harley rider who wears a cap on their head. Wear a helmet, full face. Another thing I would say is get a camera, like a GoPro, and get like a helmet mount, because that kind of helps like people to like fuck off. Like if they see that you have a camera, they'll less likely to like do dumb stuff, like bully you. So yeah, that's kind of main things I want to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any tips, or correct me if I'm wrong on anything, because I'm still learning. I'm a new rider. I just want to kind of make this as something that's like from someone who's learning still, and not someone who's like a professional and talking about it, because I feel like my point of view is kind of different and like relatable. So if you guys enjoyed, please comment down below. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Please subscribe, follow my Instagram, TikTok, and my Twitter. And if you're buying anything on Amazon, please use my commission link down below, because that helps me out a little bit. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. ride safe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.